Hi Kunga, this is What Note Is This with me, your teacher, Miss M. Okay, so note on the very first line, one on top, is an A, right? And the way you can remember this is, of course, you can do your Gary backs, does, funny, acts. That's an A. Or you can always just remember that the note on the very first line, on the line, is an A. This is an A flat because of the flat sign in front of it. You see the flat sign? That means it's an A flat. Now, flat lowers the note. Think of something, when you flatten something, you're making it smaller. So it lowers the note. This is an A natural. It makes the note higher, right? And it's an A natural because of the natural sign. A natural is in the second position because it's higher than an A flat. Okay, so in your exercise, you were mixing the two up a bit. You were mixing your A flats and your A naturals. A natural is higher, so it's in the higher position, which is second position. And A flat, like I said, if you flatten something, you're making it smaller. So A flat is lower, which means it's in the third position. Okay, A natural is higher, second position. A flat is lower, third position. The note directly on top of the stave, the note directly above the stave, is a B. Now, if you remember, this note here, the one on the top line, was an A, and this note comes after an A or above an A, which means it's a B. So that's another way you can use to remember it. Once again, this is a B flat because of the flat sign, and this is a B natural because of the natural sign. Okay, B flat is in first position. You know this because we play a B flat in all our lessons and in band as well. First position, B flat. B natural, which we're not very familiar with, is in fourth position. You have played it a few times, maybe in band, but we haven't really learned this note in our lesson. So this is a B natural, and it's in fourth position. Okay, so when you see notes move stepwise like this, and I did something like this in the first exercise that you had to do, you had a B and a C, and then you had this note up here. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but these notes are going up in a stepwise motion, right? So this is an A, it's on the first line. The note directly above it or next to it is a B. Directly above that, on the first ledger line, this is called the ledger line, is a C, and the note directly above a C is it's a D. Okay, if you notice, the C is on this random line above the stave. This is called a ledger line. Okay, so that's where a C is. Now, when you see this ledger line, it's the same ledger line, but the note is above the ledger line. That's a D. It comes after a C. Okay, so that's a way that you can remember it. When you see a ledger line and it's a note above, that's a D. And a D is in the first position. Also, a note that you might not be familiar with, maybe you've played it in band, but it is a D and it's in the first position. Okay, so always try to remember your Gary Backs does funny acts and all cows eat grass, because that's how I remember all the different notes on the bass clef. And if you can't do that, then you can always just count stepwise. Gary, that's a G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C on the ledger line, D above the ledger line, E would be above another ledger line, and so on and so forth. Okay.